underway, broadcasting to you from our North Catholic studios in Cranberry Township with our second episode of this year on our podcast on North Catholic Athletics. My name is Alex Brown. Alongside me today is Ryan Berry and Callie Martis, as we are very excited to bring you this podcast today as we set up the playoffs for our fall sports teams. Starting with the girls soccer team, Ryan.
Yeah, the girls soccer team every year we talk about them. They're always in this top two to three seeds. I mean, 2 seed this year got a big win against. I don't even remember anymore. It was such a big win.
Avonworth?
No,
Woodland Hills.
You mean
Woodland Hills in the
Woodland
playoffs.
Hills.
First round of the playoffs, 8-2. They were up 8-0. Then Woodland Hills had 2 goals towards the end of that one once North Catholic put in the subs. But yeah, I mean, they're impressive from top to bottom every single year. They lost Lauren McDonald, their leading goal scorer from last year. Like, are they going to struggle to score goals this year? They haven't. Petey Mealy has stepped up. Simone Sharpless has stepped up. Carly Orvetti has scored goals. I mean, I could name so many players who have scored goals. They just continue to impress, continue to improve. And that win they had to close out the season against Beaver, a team they played close earlier in the season, was really, really impressive. And I'm looking forward to seeing them make a run again this year.
Yeah, the girls soccer team for sure has been dominant. Like Ryan said, big win, 8-2 in the first round of the playoffs. Simone Sharpless had a hat trick that game. She's been really excellent for the Trojans this season, and they'll now take on the number 7 seed Shadyside Academy this Saturday, so that should be a really good matchup between both teams.
The North Catholic Trojanettes have really been impressive in their games this year. They have come from losing that first game of the regular season against Avonworth to beating Avonworth in September.
Yeah, I mean, that first game against Avonworth, I mean, what a character loss that was. You talk about character wins, talk about a character loss there.
Yes.
They had the 2-0 lead. They let Avonworth come back in the second half. Avonworth then scored in overtime. I mean, going through that early in the season really benefited this team. I mean, they came out and just dominated Avonworth. They won 1-0. But it felt like a game that North Catholic just dominated. They wouldn't let Avonworth get past midfield, just stellar midfield and defensive play all game. And just the confidence has to be so high for this team.
It has to be. And they're one of the strongest fundamental teams that we have. They play the game so well. They're smart, they're talented, and they have the confidence mixed with the experience to back it up, Callie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they just seem to have so much chemistry out there on the field. All the players get along really well. Head coach DJ Sharpless, really good coach for North Catholic. And overall, I mean, they're just awesome to watch out there.
This team is firing on all cylinders. And for more on that, here is goaltender Rylee Kumer and North Catholic head coach DJ Sharpless.
We are here with girls soccer goalkeeper Rylee Kumer. Rylee, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Rylee, you've had a fantastic season this year. And now your team is reaping the benefits, just coming off that big 8-2 win against Woodland Hills just the other night. But as a senior on the team this year, what do you want your legacy to be when people think about you and your time here?
You know, I'm never one to make it all about myself. Since I'm a goalkeeper, I have 10 people in front of me that do majority of the work for me. So I don't want it to be about myself. I want it to be about my team. And the legacy that I leave is that we're a family, and it needs to stay that way. And that no matter what happens, no matter who we lose, no matter who we gain, we always will be one family, and we always play as a family.
And Rylee, the girls soccer team keeps improving year after year during your time here. How have you really come together as a team, and what aspects of the game do you think have been working really well?
Well, you know, I came in my sophomore year, and we had a very strong competitive team, but I think we also lacked inconsistency with coaching staff. Unfortunately, before I was here, there was another coach, and then my junior year, they brought in DJ. So that, I believe, has been a major part of our success. We've had consistency between year after year playing together and being a family, because last year we lost 3 very important seniors, but we still had majority of our lineup there, and we had girls come in and were able to fill those shoes. So I think that was a very important part of our success.
So you mentioned Coach Sharpless. What has his influence been on the team, and how do you like playing for him?
Well, I love playing for Coach DJ. I've known him since I was little, and I played with Simone since I was little. And, it's a big influence on our team because he cares for us. And, him having 4 daughters probably helps that because he truly believes that, we're a part of his family. And that, I think, brings our team so closely together because we play for one another, and he is he's coaching, I should say. He's coaching for us, and that's what he's there for. So I think that's a major part of, the process for us to continue winning, the process of our team just continuing to grow and build, because overall, without him, we don't have the consistency that we need because he'll push us, he'll give us our off days, but he'll have, no matter what, our backs in any situation.
You spoke about the consistency there, Rylee, of the team over the past several seasons. You've been down this road before, into the playoffs with a great team. What about this team is different than previous seasons, would you say?
The difference between previous seasons, I would say, is our fight. We've had fight the past 2 years that I've been here, and we've come up short. And I think, honestly, as there are 9 seniors, we're tired of coming up second best, and we're ready to end that legacy, and we're going to open up a new book for all the underclassmen coming up in the next few years. And we want to set another legacy as past seniors that have graduated have set for us, and we're going to, show everybody that underestimates us just because we didn't make it to Highmark last year, we're going to show them we can make it back there again.
And Rylee, going off of that, what is the mindset heading into the quarterfinals against Shady Side Academy? And how is the team looking to adjust to a tougher opponent after your guys' big 8-2 win in the first round?
The mindset going into the game is we not only need to play for each other, but play for the people that may never get to play soccer again. There's some seniors that may not go back onto a soccer field after high school season. So that, I think, is a big motivation piece for us because, not all of us are going to play college soccer, and we want to play for each other. We want to play to win, and no matter how tough the opponent might get, if it's our rivals, if it's a school we've never played, we prepare. We watch film, we're going through the motions, we're making sure that we are cleaning up every single pass, play, anything it may be to help us succeed and make it back to Highmark.
And Rylee, that's all we have for you today, Rylee. Thank you very much for coming on, and have best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
We are here with North Catholic girls soccer head coach DJ Sharpless.
Coach, you had some close games and some big wins this season against Avonworth, Quaker Valley, and Beaver. How do you look to gain confidence from those wins, taking them into the playoffs against a good after your win against Woodland Hills 8-2?
Well, not just them opponents, right?
Yeah.
Our section is really tough, right? So it's a grind the whole year. So you take one game at a time and you build upon it, right? Like Avonworth is one of the best teams in the state. Let's be honest, right? Quaker Valley can play defense against anybody. But you take one game at a time, you try to become better as a player, as a coach, as a team. So that's how we handle it.
What is your confidence in your group this year in terms of the confidence in them to get all the way this time to Highmark?
Well, I was really confident in them last year. Unfortunately, we had a bad break, right? A bad call. We don't make excuses, right? You'll have that. But this is pretty much the same group coming back, right? We lost 3 seniors last year. We got a great team this year. They're more experienced, right? I think they have a lot more confidence. They play as a family. They play for each other, and they play for me also, right? They represent our school. They represent their parents and our athletic department, and I'm proud of them. So every game we play, that's what we try to do, and we do it.
And what are some things your team has done well this season, and is there anything you look to improve upon in playoffs?
Our team knows how to play, right? It just depends on how we play, right? We can play with the best of them. But if we come out there and play every game to our potential, right, we can play with anybody. And our team, there's things we can work on as a team, right? A little bit of communication on the field, talking to each other, watching everybody's back, right? Check your shoulder, stuff like that. But, our team has confidence, they have experience, and I think they're ready to go.
This seems like the same story from the last couple of years. You guys are a high seed. You and Avonworth at the top. Mount Pleasant's in it this year, but always destined for a big playoff run. How do you keep your team focused in these early rounds, knowing that you can't look ahead to Avonworth in the championship or Mount Pleasant in the semis?
You can't overlook anybody, right? It's one game at a time, right? We play Shadyside next. They're a really good team. We just got done playing Woodland Hills. Their coach is excellent. I respect him. He played professionally. He had a game plan, right? When we played Woodland Hills, he tried to pack it in tight in the middle of the field. We spread them out. We started scoring. So you have to handle it like that, one game at a time. I think that, at the end of the day, if we play to our potential, we can do it. It was nice the other day. We had a nice lead, right? And we got 30 girls into the game, right? And that gave all of our underclassmen and girls that might not have had any playoff experience, a little bit of experience in the atmosphere, in them games. So
that's unheard of in those playoff games. That's a testament to you as a coach and getting all those girls in, because that's unheard of.
Yeah,
across sports.
You're right, Alex. I don't know if it happened, how much it happened ever, right? My other coaches had to work their tails off to try to get everybody in, right? I was laughing at Coach Amanda and Coach Mila Sharpless trying to get the girls in, because they had it harder than I did after we got the lead like that, trying to get everybody in. But it was a great experience for the kids, and I think that's important. We got 3 goalkeepers in the game. It was exciting to see. I was just happy to be part of it.
We've heard Rylee and the other girls, and then yourself talked about it earlier, about how this team's a family, and they play like a family, and they're a family on the field and off the field. How important has it been for you to establish that culture within this group?
Well, you know what? That's what it's all about, right? We're here. We worked hard. We started in June. June 14th, we started this process, and we're going to take it hopefully out east. I told him the other day when we practiced down the turnpike, I said, we got to keep going down this turnpike, right, in a couple weeks. That's our goal, right? It started in June, and like I said, we're a big family. Like a family, you have your ups and downs, right? But, that's what we're trying to build here at North Catholic.
Thank you, Coach Sharpless. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
And you just heard from Rylee Kumer and DJ Sharpless. We thank them for coming on and great interviews. Now Alex boys soccer. Their season was just finished up in the first round of the WPIAL playoffs, losing to 7-seeded Thomas Jefferson in overtime and a back-and-forth affair. A lot of teams had chances to win. Thomas Jefferson had the better of the chances in overtime and finally converted on a 2-on-1 break. Drew Shuttlebauer for the Trojans had an unbelievable game, and he was named all WPIAL or all section,
all
along
section.
with Jake Stoffel, Micah Kembo, and Francisco Smith. So congrats to those fellas on that achievement.
Absolutely. And 3 of those guys being seniors on that team, Jake, Micah, and Fran, all had great years and brought this team from the struggles of the early couple weeks of the season into probably the middle of September. And then they took them on a run, beating section team after section team and earning themselves a firm spot in the playoffs, losing to Thomas Jefferson in a tight matchup, 1-0 in overtime. But this boys' team has made some remarkable improvements from last year, Callie. But the team really had a lot of great leaders.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Alex. I mean, they're definitely going to miss their seniors next year, and it'll be interesting to see how the season goes for them next year. Hopefully they have those younger players step up, but overall it was a good season for boys soccer. Like you said, a little bit of a rocky start, but then they got going, got in the playoffs. Tough loss, but overall a good season.
They've had a lot of adversity this season too, Ryan. A lot of players moving around, some players not on the team that when they started the year. It was a little bit of a messy year at times, but they came out with a good record and a good season.
Yeah, they did, and they're definitely going to build on that. They have a lot of good underclassmen that contributed a lot this year when players went down, and they're going to have a great year next year. And now we'll move on to girls volleyball, Alex. Girls volleyball is going to the playoffs as the number 2 seed. Same with the girls soccer team every year. Girls soccer, girls volleyball, always those high seeds, and they've been dominant as ever, undefeated in section play. A loss to North Allegheny in non-conference play was one of only 2 blemishes on the record. So very impressive season yet again. They've lost seniors just like girls soccer did, and they've built back stronger, and they're ready to go another run in WPIALs against a lot of good teams.
Certainly so, Ryan. Hampton is on the other side of the bracket as the 1 seed. Hampton is undefeated this year, perfect, I believe, 17-0 in the regular season of play. And they're going to be a tough out in this playoffs as they cruise to victory over Laurel Highlands in their first matchup as North Catholic came to a very nice, comfortable victory against Indiana in their first matchup. They'll play Trinity, the number 7 seed Trinity, this Saturday at North Catholic. I do believe that has not been confirmed yet in terms of the location and the time, but it will be this Saturday, probably in the afternoon. But this team, as Ryan said, a lot of new faces on this team this year, Callie, but so many people have risen up and stepped up into big roles and delivered.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Alex. I mean, I look at players, especially in the front row. You have Camden Gonzalez, Megan Becker, Sienna Caza. They've all been excellent on both offense and defense, and even the back row, too. I was watching Becca Fezco serve that one game we broadcast. I believe Blackhawk we broadcasted. She had multiple aces in that game. Overall, they're just a really good team, and like you said, those young players have really stepped up.
And because it's a new look, Ryan, but they've had a good season. They still have the confidence, but it's definitely a little bit different than the previous years when you have a lot of those seniors returning, and you had 3 all-state players on that team last year. So where is the confidence at with this team going into the playoffs, do you feel, and what should the expectations be for the run? Is it same old since it's North Catholic?
Well, the confidence is always high, and I don't know if it changes from year to year, maybe based on how you're going in the playoffs. Like, I know, like, in hockey, like, if we go into the playoffs, if we'd won the week before, or going into the next game, if we'd won the game before, we're not as confident, or maybe not. We're still confident, but it's just that mojo and momentum you have after a win. So they finished the season strong, undefeated in section play, playing NA, probably one of the best girls volleyball team in the entire state, very closely. I mean, how can you not be confident? But you can't be cocky because there are a lot of good teams in this section this year that North Catholic will have to beat to get to that WPIAL championship again. But they could do it. I mean, there's no reason they can't do it. They're so talented, so good defensively, and they never get too low, never get too high, and they just keep going.
I feel really good about their path to the championship game, which will take place on November the 4th at Peters Township High School. As Ryan said, how can you not be confident with this group? The experience that they've had, the leadership that's on this group as well, is setting this team up for something great once again. And for more on that, here's senior Alex Sepcic. We're here with North Catholic senior girls volleyball player Alex Sepcic. Alex, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Alex, you've had so much success the past couple of years in the playoffs, winning WPIAL championship after WPIAL championship. Going into the playoffs, being a senior, are you still nervous, or being in that situation so many times, or has the nerves kind of gone away?
Oh, yeah. Nervous every single game, regardless of section play, WPIAL play, state play. I think it's just a matter of, like, pulling yourself together and reminding yourself it's the sport you know how to play, you know?
You've had so many players on this team step up in big ways, in roles that they might not have had last year. I think of, right off the top of my head, we have Brooke Shulo. Brooke Shulo stepped up in a big way this year. Ella Kazera stepped up in an even bigger role than she had last year. And then some new players, too. Camden Gonzalez has been fantastic. But especially with them on their outside hitting duties, does that make your job a lot easier on the back line in terms of being able to get those passes to them in the right spots? Or is it harder because you know that they have such specialized sweet spots on the court?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it depends on the rotation we're in. I think it's good to switch it up every now and then, and I think it is specialized, but having those girls who are all so steady and so confident in their skills and being able to be confident in their skills, I think that's really important. And regardless of who it is, I know that they're ready to step up to the plate, and you know they'll nail a ball when they need to.
Has that made your offense more unpredictable?
I wouldn't say unpredictable. I think there's some fun errors that we have, like someone will accidentally steal it out of bounds, and we all have a good laugh. But I think the change up, I think it's more refreshing than it is unpredictable, and it's good to have a switch up every now and then.
And Alex, there have been a lot of players on the team this year that have really stepped up based off your WPIAL championship win last year. Do you think some of the growing pains throughout the year have made the team stronger?
Oh, yeah. I think we have a really young team this year, and coming off losing 9 seniors is it's a big loss, but having such a young team means they're so much more adaptable, and they're a lot easier to, I guess they're open to learning new things and being put in new positions, and they're even excited to be put in new positions. Like Camden being put on outside, and Camden came in, Camden Gonzalez from Mars, she came in originally setting, and I think we all had anticipated that she was going to come in and be another setter, but then she stepped up to the plate and was so excited to play some defense and serve receive and go on outside and right side. And so I think having such a young team is really important to like the learning aspect of the game.
So as I mentioned before, this is a team that's won WPIAL championships year after year. But teams looks a little bit different this year. The confidence level is still there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And would you say it's important to be confident but not cocky? Because there are a couple other undefeated teams in your section. And looking at those teams, how do you feel you match up right now?
I mean, we got some strong competition, but I think if we go in and we do what we know how to do and we don't get caught up in the cockiness, like you said, of it, I think that we will be just fine in WPIAL playoffs.
What's this team's biggest strength?
Biggest strength, I think we are such a tight-knit group, and I think that we all are like very excited to play, and we coming off a lot of our players, we all played club. A lot of us played club, and so we all have such a grit to win and a competitive spirit, even in practice. And so I think those two aspects, being competitive but also being really tight-knit, allows us to compete better and to trust each other in our abilities during games.
And going off the team identity, you're a senior on the team this year. What do you personally want your legacy on the team to be?
Well, coming off with a lot of seniors who left a big legacy with WPIAL championships and state championships, I don't want to leave a legacy of winning. I want to leave a legacy of competitive spirit and of grit and of wanting to win, even if that doesn't mean like fully going and fully winning and having a perfect season. I want to make mistakes and I want to have errors, and I want people to know how to learn from those errors and learn how to be competitive regardless of you making mistakes. And I think that's a big thing with our senior class, is that although we aren't as loaded as last year, having only 5 compared to the 9, I think we all have such a competitive spirit and such a want to win that I want them to be able, the juniors and the sophomores and the freshmen, to be able to take with them in future years.
Well, Alex, you guys play Saturday. Good luck, and thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
And sir, from Alex Sepcic, another great interview. We thank her for her time and wish her well on the rest of their playoff run, as we do the girls soccer team as well, as they have some good games on Saturday coming up. And after that, if they continue to win, it's going to be some good matchups down the stretch. Alex, Callie, that's all we're going to talk about today. We'll have a lot more of football next week with hopefully going in after a big win against Mars in a section championship.
What a game that's going to be right at Lieutenant J.C. Stonefield. So it's going to be a big crowd, high stakes, and it's going to be a fantastic game. But one thing that I heard in these interviews today, the importance of a family group of these teams, and we've talked about this every year, I think, but the importance of having that tight of a group on a team is vital. It's absolutely crucial to the overall success of a team. So if you're looking for a great team, start with that bond and great things will happen. Callie, your thoughts on what we've heard today and what's to come?
Yeah, Alex, I mean, I feel like a lot of the teams, majority of the teams here at North Catholic, in general for all sports, it's really a tight family. Everybody gets along real well, and honestly, everybody is doing really well this season overall, so I couldn't agree more.
Alex, these teams are so confident, and they are so talented. How can you not be excited for this playoff run? They can't, as I said before, they're not going to get too high, not going to get too low, and they'll continue to keep moving in the playoffs. And we thank them for the interviews again. And remember, we are your one-stop podcast for everything North Catholic athletics.